What up, what up, what up, what up? Thank you guys for joining in today. I am BK back with another banger. Today is gonna be one of those moments, an unbiased moment, a come clean moment. It's gonna be one of those kind of moments, man. So just strap on your seatbelts, put some cotton swab in your ears. If you got children around, move them to another room. If you're on loudspeakers, because there might be some profane language. So, if you're not under a rock, if you're not behind a mountain somewhere, and if you are an Akai owner, such as anything from Akai, you've already gotten your email blast updating you on the brand new MPC One. The MPC One has been released just 2 days ago or a day ago. No, it'll be 1 day by the time you guys see this if I upload it on time. Akai announced the MPC One at NAMM 2020. I mean, unbiased, it's a beautiful, beautiful machine. I can't hate on the aesthetics of it, how it look. It's very clean looking, to say the least. Now, if you're coming from an MPC studio, this is for you, right? Because this is an MPC studio. If you look at it, it's the same layout, it's the same faceplate from aerial vision without the 7-inch screen. It's the same thing, just now it's standalone. You don't have to be tethered to a computer in order to use it. You have to be tethered to a power outlet, a power source, because there's no battery in it. If there was one downside to the MPC One, it would be that there's no battery in it. They dropped the ball on that. I mean, it would have been super simple to a power supply in there, a battery, an ion battery in there. But you got to think, they still have the MPC Live, so it'll be like, all right, we're selling the MPC One. No one would want the MPC Live anymore, so it makes sense. Now, the other downside of this big announcement, the hoopla around it, they're saying that it's the same OS operating system as what's in the MPC Live and MPC X, which means that it's still the 2.0, which means that it's more than likely shipping with either the 2.6 or the 2.7. Now, because of the whole, they did mention the Ableton link, but you need the Ethernet in order to connect to the Ableton link. So updates in future videos on that. But for right now, that means it's shipping with 2.7 or 2.6. So for me, that's a no bueno. We should be in 3.0 by now, okay? They announced the 2.7 back in December. I ran into some hiccups. They're telling everybody who owns an MPC to roll back to 2.6 until they figure out the bugs. Did Akai drop the ball? Are they no longer going to do any more updates for the MPC Live and MPC X? I, for one, don't think that they're not gonna eventually move us all over to the 3.0, but like, I don't understand what the lag time is. You guys had more than ample time to fix the bug situation, because this is clearly why I didn't receive an email back, or I didn't receive a phone call back about the 2.7 issue, is because in office, they already knew they were gearing to release the MPC One. We knew it's 2020. They had to cap off the decade with something brand new, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. No cap. It's beautiful. But what about your user base, your community that's already actively using MPC? What about us, man? What about us? What about that guy, that gal? You guys completely forgot about it. So outside of the 3.0 not is not shipping with the 3.0. And don't quote me, it might, when you get yours, it might open up with the 3.0. But then that still says, where is the 3.0 for the MPC Live and the MPC X user owner, by the way, okay? So for the people who was always complaining the MPC Live is too much, they recently chopped off $500, by the way. The MPC X is too much. It's still shipping at $2,100, by the way, brand new, but you could get one for like $1,500 on eBay or Amazon, right? The MPC Studio, they just dropped the price point on that, but you know, why get an MPC Studio when you could get an MPC One? And the price point for it currently, before it's out the box, is $699 off rip. So for $300 more or $400 more, no, $300 more, you can get an MPC Live brand new. I'm upset about that because I paid $1,500 for mine originally, okay? Hindsight 2020, I'd have just waited for 4 years for the MPC One. I digress. It's a fully standalone MPC, no computer required. It has the 16 velocity sensitive RGB pads. Now, about the RGB pads, people are looking at it from these photos because no one physically held one besides, you know, a couple people around the internet, the interwebs, who's physically held one. No one knows if the RGB pads are physically smaller than the ones that comes with the MPC X and MPC Live. It do look like it's a little bit smaller, but if you own or ever touched an MPC Studio, the MPC Studio pads was great. I owned one. My brother owned one. It was still good. It wasn't what was on the MPC Renaissance at the time, but it was still good. So I'm pretty sure that the pads aren't going to be an issue. That's the least of the concerns. It has the same 7-inch screen as the MPC Live. The same 7-inch screen as the MPC Live. It has 2 gigs of RAM and 2 gigs of onboard storage. You'll never really use the onboard storage. I just know that off the top. There's 2 gigs of pre-installed content. They got a plethora of new sounds that's shipping with this. Do the MPC X user get it? Do the MPC Live user get it? We don't know. Stereo line inputs for sampling. Midi in and out. I hope this Midi in and out ships correctly, right? Because the MPC Live had hiccups, right? So I hope you guys figured that out. They added a TRS CV gate. There's 4 TRS CV gates outputs, 8 in total, because you could do the split thing. So for you modular synthesis guys out there, they brought y'all in. And then there's a SD slot. You get the full MPC experience for half the dollar amount. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are. I see some of you guys are already blasting Akai for their just lack of communication with the user-based community. Man, just to be on a positive note, I think this is beautiful price point for the new producer, anyone who wants to be in a standalone world, anyone who wants to jump on the MPC wave. It's a beautiful buy-in price. I myself, I'm definitely gonna get one. Not generally for me, but I want to get my son and my daughter into production at a young age. I tried the Akai Fire for Fruity Loops with my son when it first was released a year or 2 years ago. He didn't really like it. He didn't like it at all. I definitely didn't like it because I'm not a fan of FL Studios like that. So I didn't, you know, I brought it right back. It was bought for Christmas, and by New Year's, it was returned to Guitar Center. So that's how long we had it for. So I think he'll love this. I think he'll enjoy this. I think my daughter, she'll definitely enjoy it. And yeah, I'll enjoy it myself. It's easier to carry carry around. Nah, the MPC Live is my buddy. I bring it all across the nation with me. And I just drop it in my backpack, but it is heavy, right? It is a little bit heavy. So I'm not sure what the weight class of this is as yet, but it can't be that heavy. And it definitely looks sturdy. It looks sturdy. The MIDI in and out, the inputs, it has the dedicated master volume, the Ethernet link, the CV gates. I mean, it's pretty solid. For 700 bucks, you really can't go wrong. And again, they got the dedicated buttons. I mean, they always had dedicated buttons, but for you guys who never used a MPC Studio, I'm hearing that's the big hoopla. They got dedicated buttons, but these buttons are the same as what's on the MPC Studio and the MPC X. The only difference now is that they added a step sequencer, but everything else and automation. That's the brand new button, but everything else is pretty much the same. But that's pretty much it. Your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. Post them up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I think it's a good deal. This is, you know, I can't really be mad at Akai. They getting their money. I'm not mad at them. I'm happy that they started the decade off still in standalone. They closed the decade off telling us to tether up to a computer and run Ableton. They still talking that talk, but it's the MPC One and it's still an MPC and it's standalone. I remember when I got the MPC Renaissance when it first dropped, and I just went in the store, picked it up, didn't really even think about having to plug up to the computer, right? I'm like, okay, we can plug up to the computer. Wow, that's awesome. But coming from being in the studios around real MPCs, I'm like, okay, got the classic color. This is the new wave. I was super bummed out when I had to attach that blue USB cable to the computer to make music, right? I was super bummed out. So to know that the MPC One, you don't have to be connected to a computer is bar none. Great deal, great deal. The price point, I mean, one can argue. Somebody said to me yesterday, I think it was Showtime, you know, for $700, you know, you might as well go the machine, the MK. I'm like, but you still need a computer. You still got to be attached to the computer. This is fully standalone. So yeah, man. Again, I know you guys were probably thinking I was coming with some heat. I was gonna be shooting them up, but I can't. Yeah, the only thing that I'm going to say, they better get time stretch right. They still don't have a tuner. I know it's not shipping with a tuner. They talking about this splice integration and all this hoopla, but we still don't got the tuner. And time stretch just needs to be a little bit better for the beginner. Let's just say that for the beginner who's not used to the MPC, time stretch needs to be a little bit more user friendly. Let's use that word. It needs to be user friendly. All right, that's pretty much it. I am BK. Thank you guys for joining me today. This is your first time here and you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. Go check out my other MPC videos. Check out my Studio One videos, my review videos. Check them out. All right, do remember that music is life. It is our DNA. Keep banging. Peace, love, and light. Till next time. Peace.